Hey guys, this is Brent for Resin Maniacs, back with you for another out-of-box review. Sponsored by Michigan Toy Soldier, your one-stop shop for all of your modeling needs. And Michigan Toy Soldier has provided for us a product for review today. This one I've already taken out of the box because it is a book and I wanted to look at it and get an idea of what I was talking about before I did the review. When they told me they were going to send a book, I wasn't really sure what to expect, but I was actually really very pleasantly surprised to get this. I was unaware of this product. If I had, I probably would have picked it up. This is a book called F.A.Q. Dioramas, written by Ruben Gonzalez, and this is published by A.K. Interactive, which I'm sure many of you are familiar with. But this book is a very detailed book for making any kind of base, any kind of scenery, anything that you might want to add to your model. Now, a lot of this is actually geared toward smaller scale things, 1/24th scale, 1/32nd scale, 1/35th scale, that sort of thing. But there are a lot of things that still would translate toward some of the bigger figures like 1/8, 1/6 scale, okay, even 1/4 scale. So just looking at this, preliminarily, first of all, you can look and see just the size of the book. This is a very substantial volume that has a lot of information in it. It's very thick, and every page features a lot of details, a lot of detailed pictures. These are very glossy, very sturdy pages, so you don't really have to worry about these being very fragile while you're working with them out in your shop or whatever. So each one of these sections pretty much detail how to do a particular thing. I'm going to flip now to the table of contents and just talk a little bit about what all is here. So it has everything from making bases, so if you want to just make a standard base for your model, all the way through adding groundwork and terrain, and it gives different kinds from desert to mud to sand to rubble and debris, that sort of thing, if you're trying to make explosions or puddles or whatever. It also has stuff if you want to add any kind of vegetation, from it being a lawn to trees to adding even jungle scenes, or even adding trash to your model. Also just different things like adding artificial elements such as light poles, vending machines, that sort of thing. So a lot of different stuff is covered within this book, and I want to just kind of give you an idea of basically some of the things that it offers. So here you see a pretty detailed picture of how if you were going to make a desert scene. Okay, this one obviously for some kind of vehicle, but this gives you an idea. It talks you step by step through what paints, what materials are needed, and what you can do to create that effect, and also gives you some different things for adding different structures. So if you want to add some buildings and things like that, all the way through, talking about sculpting things out of foam, molding some things. Lots of different terrains, ideas for adding different terrains to your models and things like that. So it pretty much has all the bases covered. So if you're working on some kind of model and you want to add this kind of groundwork to it to make it look a little bit more realistic, this pretty much talks you through it step by step exactly what you need to do. So it's a very, very nice, very complete sort of resource to have. And you can see it has some things on, sculpting rocks, getting those ready, different things that you might need for that. And this in particular might come in really handy for some of us that do some of the larger scale models. We just would do these on a slightly larger scale. And then also, offer some tips on how to paint them, how to make them look a little bit more realistic and things like that. So I'm very impressed with this book. It really has a lot of detailed stuff. It gives you a lot of things on what different paints. Of course, it's going to talk a lot about AK things, but you can find, I'm sure, some alternatives to those as well. And it talks about using airbrush, different glues to use, different ways to attach materials, what different kind of materials to use. So overall, this is just a very great resource, and I really do recommend it. So if you're interested in this, you can purchase this from Michigan Toy Soldier. I'm not sure the price. This is an international book published overseas, but you can publish it from them, and you want to go to their website, which is www.michtoy, that's michtoy.com. You can also email them at info@michtoy.com, and they can get you any kind of information. So just email them, tell them you're interested in the book, and I'm sure that they can hook you up with it. Again, I think this is a great resource for us. I'm very glad to have come across this book. I'm glad that they sent it to me. So thank you to Michigan Toy Soldier for sending this to us for review, and I hope some of you have found this entertaining. If you have any questions, just post it in the comments. Otherwise, I will see you guys in the next episode. Thanks again for watching.